All right, ladies, buckle up. It's showtime.
You gave me your loving, and I fell from grace.
And what's up, everybody? We are buckled up and ready to go. Copperhead Road Podcast live on Rumble, always live on Rumble, because we're adults and I'm not going to pew schmurder, grape, unalive, or any of that horse shit. I'm not going to say what I am going to do in the regular terms because I'm making the choice. Not YouTube, not TikTok. I made the choice to censor me. All right? I'm your boy Footer. That's my man Rex. Got Jen behind the glass. And we're ready to rock and roll. What's up, Dixie?
You know, I was thinking, I was listening to your intro there, and you were saying that you're not going to say unalive and grape, and what was the other ones you said?
Schmurder, pew.
But you say them every episode now.
Yeah.
So they are making you say it.
Wow. Fuck. All right.
Something to think about.
YouTube, TikTok 1, Footsie Bear, Zippo. Hey, what are you gonna do? Well, you know, it's early. It's early innings. Plenty of podcasts to go. So we'll see who wins, won't we?
So how are things down in South Florida for you?
Doing good. Some crappy weather we had, you know what I mean? But otherwise, good. I mean, listen, it really is like living in paradise. Not like 1980s Florida where if you're from up north and you come down there and you go, you know what, this is really beautiful, but thank God I can't live here because there's nothing but fucking lunatics and terrible food. Now, not the case. Florida is incredible. I'll tell you, the county that I live in, such a rich history in racism. Don't get me wrong, it's taking a real 180. It's great here. It's great here right now. But go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say the vast majorities of body cam videos still come from Florida, which I find fantastic.
Yeah, but well, again, remind me about that. But the thing is, what made me think about this was I was eating at this barbecue place the other day, and on the walls, and it's a very it's an old building, like they've been there for forever, you know. So I was looking at pictures on the wall. It was like almost like that Cracker Barrel vibe as far as like, but real pictures from the area. Obviously they're all black and white, from the 1930s. Everything from, a guy, captured an alligator to, what the building used to look like, right? And not one black person in any of the pictures in the entire place. 30 black people eating there, you know what I'm saying? Working there, but not one picture.
One end.
You know? Well, a few. There's a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I when I lived there, again, Central Florida is way different than even Tampa, going down into Miami. And then when you get up into what they call the Big Bend and that area there, that's no reflection on you, Footer. It is a different world, and the fact that
disease. I don't have that, but it's just funny.
The dynamic is certainly different as far as beautiful Florida. That's why like a lot of the videos that you see, that the body cam kind of videos or whatever, are from like Citrus, Pasco, Hernando, Hillsborough, that area there, because the beauty and the money doesn't really make its way up there. So like when I lived there, like and I think I've mentioned on the show before, like my football coaches were KKK members, and I mean that. I don't mean like they just hated, but I mean like Oh, we got to wrap up practice because we have a meeting tonight. Kind of KKK members.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Moon Lake is still a huge hotbed for the Klan.
Yeah, no, I summer in Moon Lake.
Yeah, Al Capone did his one of his mansions is there actually. So you know it's definitely a different world depending on what part of Florida that you're in. If you're on the East Coast going down into, that's fine, but West Coast, Gulf side, especially when you get up above Tampa and whatever, it's still cracker country for sure.
Yeah. Now most of our it's funny. Most of I'm just thinking about this. Is kind of a little funny, but most of my racism that I've experienced in my life growing up in New York
Came from your father.
correct. Good night, everybody. No, no, honestly, was like this lighthearted, genuinely zero hate, um, nothing really negative about them. And I don't mean them, meaning black people, meaning like my, for example, like my grandmother. Okay, now my
Also
generation, also the Moors. But also unrelated because again, my whole thing like growing up, like I grew up, it was a very Italian area, like off the boat fucking paisans, like a bunch of guineas, right? But my high school, bro, was like everybody from the black areas came to my high school, right? So we were so mixed, and my grammar school, right, was also probably more black than white, right? So I've always integrated with these different races. With these different races.
I saw you hit the clutch on around the corner.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, spun out a little bit. Had to fucking readjust my fucking steering. Back end spun out a bit. But Positano steering, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like a freaking, you know, not to be cliche, but it was a straight up melting pot. And you know, all of my friends growing up, I had a birthday party, you know, it was black people, white people, Jew kid, Irish kid, everybody, you know what I mean? Yeah. So my grandmother, like my best friend was the Jamaican dude at the time, was my best friend, his kid Sheldon, right? So my grandmother loves him so much, right? She thought he was the sweetest boy, just adored him, right? And then but she would always go to me, Frankie, where's the colored boy? Wait, you should tell the colored boy to come over. You guys should go out and play ball. Like, and like, and at the time I wasn't like, grandma, you shouldn't be. In my, like, now I look back, I'm like, he should kind of be offended by that a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I think he could be offended by it. Should he? No, because you got to take it into context. This was, my grandmother's an old, you know, a 7-year-old Italian woman. She loved you.
Well, that's where I say that you shouldn't be offended, because it all happens to be, you know, it's the intent. You know, that if you have zero racist intent behind the meaning or behind the word, then I don't think you should, you know, correct or again, you know, the darker folk, they always use the N word, and since the intent isn't, you know, racist, then there's no offense. So it just applies across the board. If you don't necessarily mean it as a derogatory or, you know, coming from a supremacist platform, then I don't think that you really have any reason to apologize for it. So yeah. W grams is what I'm saying.
Boom. And the one thing I do love about this show, we are so open and honest as far as about talking about race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for real, dude. Like there's so many people that are so frightened to speak about race. And again, I think those are the people that really have hatred. You know what I mean? Like we go very far on this show, joking around and making, you know, stupid jokes. But the fact of the matter is, there's zero intent to hurt anybody's feelings. It's straight up to have fun and laugh. And if it offended somebody, oh, I'm sorry that you felt that way, because I can promise you in all my heart and soul, the intent was not to hurt your feelings. If it was a joke, if it missed with you, that I get it, and that's tough, and I apologize. But I'll tell you when I'm being a dick.
Well, again, the being offended by jokes, or if two people, like, again, the other day when we were talking about, and I did the wallet joke, like, if you're offended by that, it's because you think it's racist. I obviously didn't mean anything racist by it. And when you're friends with people, you make fun of their immutable characteristics. It's what you do. That's the whole thing, is like, the more and more offensive you can get with your jokes with your friends, the closer and closer you really are. And somebody who you're hanging out with, like, will know if what you're trying to say is being hurtful.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you right now, most black people would tell you the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
There's again, listen, here's what you can, if you want to stand on this false outrage and like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Okay, then tell me how hurt you are and go into the history and the plight of a black man. You know what I mean? Fine. But let's be realistic here. That conversation isn't warranted for you and I. We're fucking boys. I said, you know what I'm saying? I said it despite that thing, the terrible history. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy when people get sensitive. Again, start being hateful, start being a douche, dropping N-bombs on somebody and or something like, you're a piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit. But anyway.
And the longer, and I think anybody, including historians, would agree that, between like the 70s and 90s was the least racist, or at least the least amount of racial tension that was within, our history. And I think that's pretty much across the board. I think most people would agree with that. So what happened before and what happened after that time? Well, before there was blatant racism. I mean, Jim Crow, I almost said Jim Jones, Jim Crow, and people growing up out of, their grandparents actually being in the Civil War like that. There was a genuine, and maybe it wasn't even hatred. It was just like their way of life. Is like, of course they're not the same as me. Like, that's how they grew up. So there was genuine racism. Then, when we got into the fucking Jeffersons and the Cosbys and enjoying each other's culture, still recognizing that we had a shared history, a shared common core, but different cultural aspects. That was when it was nice. Then what happened? Then the political powers that use racism as a tool and a cudgel realized
they politicized race. And they just saw that this division is going to be good for their voting lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do they call that there for their
demographics?
Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah. And once they saw that it was on from there. And you know what? It was very easy to do. Very easy to divide race. You know what I mean? So easy to play into dividing race. You plant a few little, well, look at this. Oh, well, look at this. What about this guy? Like, you know what I mean? And you go, fuck yeah. Like the same thing like what we talked about with putting into perspective, like, the Catholic Church, the things that were these priests did all through together, like, is running rampant. And then you look at like, let's go outside the church and go, let's just go to school. Let's go with a sport, a coach. Like, okay, now you look and you go, it's not as much as going on everywhere else. So What are we doing here? Like, you know what I mean? Bad? Yes. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. But again, you have to look at it and put it into perspective. So.
Well, and when you have a society that has a base common core of values, you can have flexibility. When your population loves the country, loves sports, loves New Year's, enjoys Christmas even if you don't. And so it's a wonderful time, the seasons, the holidays, Thanksgiving. You know, being a family, going to church, school functions, whatever. When you have those basic sort of tethers to each other, you can have flexibility on a lot of other things, whatever individual cultures or making fun of each other's cultures, those kind of things. Again, all sort of rooted in Christianity, Christian founding, those kind of things. All right. So, Hillbilly Patriot says, howdy, howdy. Hi, Hillbilly Patriot. Is that your real name?
What's up, HP? What's up, HP? Good to see you.
So when they start sowing division in those core relations, that's when all of this stuff, everybody gets all sensitive and you can't do that. And mom, she's hitting me, that kind of stuff. That's when, the society breaks down.
No, it's true. It's true. And again, I think it all started by just me saying that my grandmother loved this, my Jamaican friend, and would say, hey,
Sheldon.
Yeah, Sheldon, go home and bathe. That's what his mother, we'd be walking down the street, and all of a sudden this Jamaican lady would pop her head, Sheldon, come home and bathe, and tell your boy to go home too. Go on, boy. You give me one of them. But anyway, Gramsci's, she was definitely not racist. At least she didn't think she was. You know what I mean? She didn't hate anybody. So I got that going for me.
Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up mainly because I knew it would aggravate Footer. I'll allow it. Yeah. In California, again, the hotbed of division and stupid shit and whatever. There's two legislators that are proposing a state amendment to recognize, and I think it's two Muslim holidays as a state recognized holiday. One of them is Eid, EID, whatever. And then it goes into a bunch of words that I don't need to know. And then there's another one.
And I ask you not to say it because it's probably going to put some spell on the show of some sort because the demonic Islam religion, is trying to infiltrate. And I, my friend, won't allow it.
Not, and nor should you. So
here's Christ, baby. Sorry.
So here's the two legislators talking about their proposal. And I'm curious to know if Footer notices anything about them. Watch.
Mubarak, everyone. I'm Assemblymember Matt Haney, and we're here at the Islamic Society of San Francisco with an incredible group of community members announcing an exciting bill that we've put forward in the state legislature, AB 2017, which will make Eid.
Okay, so This is a great little setup. So I'm excited because, listen, we all know San Francisco has had their problems. You know what I mean? Crime, right? Shit on the streets, right? Embracing a communist government when they're coming to town. You know what I mean? And a slew of other issues in San Francisco. So this, to me, I feel excited to know that this alleged gay gentleman, and I'm thinking that he is, just like he seems a bit flary.
You think?
Again, I don't know, but again, it's my feel. And again, if I'm wrong, I apologize. Okay. So I'm excited to this must be great. A bill probably going to take care of at least some of those things, number one. And then probably, like I said, address a slew of the other things that's going on. So this is going to be exciting for the people of San Francisco. And I got to tell you, maybe this is a turn in the right direction. So let's see.
Yeah, and I got a little problem with like the overall suit fit. Like the fit is abysmal, like especially because you should be wearing, a nice tailored suit, both of them. And I don't know what freaking Ronnie G's doing on the right, but he looks like he's just in for the long haul.
Right. He does look a little. He does.
Yeah, a little bit. So anyway, let's get some tailored suit, fellas. You're supposed to be representing somebody. All right, go ahead.
A state holiday in California. Right now, too many students are being forced to celebrate what is one of the most holy days for them. or miss time in school, and workers are being forced to miss critical time at the jobs to be able to celebrate something that is one of the most holy days, not just for Muslim Californians, but nearly 2 billion Muslims across the world. This is how we show truly that we are inclusive, that we value diversity.
Okay, this guy's speech pattern is starting to piss me off. The halting, that we value diversity.
Well, he's fucking reading. He's fucking reading a prompter or cards. So he's a fucking bro. You know what? This is my Candace to you, meaning like this enrages me. I'm so, and I don't want to like sound like this fucking hateful lunatic, but I can't stay quiet when like this whole Islam shit is really, it's a fucking problem. And this is not like the me spewing rhetoric of Islam's got a bunch of terrorists, they're gonna blow up the country. Shut up. No, they're not all terrorists. They're all following a demonic religion, a cult. That's what Islam is. It is a cult. And that's my issue as far as like I want every one of those people to come to Jesus Christ and please find the truth and have salvation. So that's where this comes from.
Right.
Okay. It's not like this twisted ideology of Muslims are terrorists, blah, blah, blah. That would be this like saying the same thing when I say, you know, all priests touch kids. You know what I mean? It's not true. With that being said, they have an ideology that pushes hate and division. And I don't care. You can pull different verses from the Quran, and then you can even pull your hadiths and to explain it, right? And tell me, no, look how it's peace. It's this and that. Okay, and then I can give you 5 other verses that are going to contradict that, and show you where the entire religion is based on this thing of almost works and being you know, Islam is, in being a Muslim, the word Muslim is to submit to God, is submission, right? Yeah. And that's a very different thing than a message of, let's say, Christianity. And we won't get into that, but my point is, so I want, when I talk negative about Islam, I really want to push and make people understand this is not coming from a hateful place. I hate the religion of Islam. I love the Muslim people. I truly, truly want them to come to Christ. And that's this is where my anger comes from. When I see people like this that want to ban prayer in schools, all of these different things on a Christian part, but yet you want to start making, you know, special holidays or different things. I'm sorry, I just blew the fucking clip, but
that's fine. So let me ask you a couple of questions because I'm a little bit ignorant on Muslims and you certainly know better. Now, do they consider Muslim just a religion, or can it be a religion and an ethnicity?
No, because there's like there's Iraqi Muslims, there's Palestinian Muslims, there's, you know what I mean?
So we would consider Arab to be sort of the ethnicity of the area rather than Islam, right? I mean, I know that there's Islam all over the place, but we're talking specifically.
Yeah, I don't know how that works because like I'm a little bit and geographically, like I don't know if where the difference between like Arab and, let's say, African, you know my point, like, because there's a lot of like go ahead.
So I guess my point is that if we're going to take the Muslim Islam as a religion, if you're a devout Muslim, what is your view on people who are not Muslim?
Say it one more time, Rexy. So if what?
If you're a devout Muslim, you know, practice Islam to its extent, what is your view on people who are not Muslim?
That you will you want to know exactly what they think of you being Jews and Christians? You want me to tell you? Okay. This is what we'll do. We'll make this simple. Okay. And if somebody thinks this is wrong, okay, you tell me. So let me I know the quote, but I want to give you the exact verse in the Quran. So I'm just going to ask Google to pull it up. In the Quran, what's the verse where they call Jews and Christians the worst of the worst if they do not believe?
The verse you are referring to is Surah Al-Bayyin.
There you go, Surah 98:6. The verse is, indeed, they who disbelieved among the people of the book, which is the people of the book of the Jews and the Christians, and the polytheists, which were the pagans, right, will be in the fire of hell, abiding eternally therein. They are the worst of creatures. That is exactly what your Quran tells you. And then this is what gets me. Then you have people say, well, no, you're not reading in Arabic. Reading in Arabic, it translates different. And then you read it in Arabic, and it's exactly the way it's presented, the way I read it the first time. Then they go, no, but you need to read the hadith, which is the commentary on the different verses. And there's different chains, okay, on these hadiths that make them valid. Right. Like some are higher, some have higher validity than others. Right. But there's like one of the highest is I can't think, it'll come to me. It's just I got a lot on my head right now. But then they will say the same exact thing. Right. So there's and you like and this is why I want you to everybody to take note of this. He asked me a question. I had no idea that you were going to ask me the question. Is that true?
True.
Okay. I didn't give him my opinion. I didn't give him what I thought. I didn't give him what the Christians think. I didn't do anything like that, but go to your own book. I read you a verse from your own Quran and answered the man. I didn't. Did I skew it a certain way? No, I gave you your answer right from the Quran. So what does that tell you, Rex?
Well, I mean, and I think that if you are going to be an actual representation of Islam, you're not going to mince words unless you're trying to convince the people in the middle to come to your side. I think that sort of muddying of the waters and being like, well, it doesn't say that, you got to do this, and like sort of putting it off when it clearly says that, you're being a salesman, you're not being a truth sayer. So with that being said, okay, so we've established that if you're a practicing devout Muslim, let's just say you don't really shine a bright light on the Christians and the basically anybody who's not Muslim, correct?
Without a doubt.
All right. So if we're going to agree, and this is certainly my feeling, and I believe it's yours too, that America is a Christian country based on Christian values, built in the image of Christianity. You know, everybody's welcome, but there's a lot of rules that you got to follow in order for it to work. Then I need somebody of the Muslim faith to explain how you can make those two things work together.
They can't.
Right.
It's absolutely, it's a religion, okay, that, brother, like, it makes me crazy because, like, this is a religion that it makes the person dumber. It makes people, please, my brothers and sisters, like, please understand, I am coming from the most humble of hearts and with such grace and love when I tell you, this is a religion that is making you dumber. It is making you have to, what we always say is like that cognitive dissonance. Like, it won't allow your brain to work to its highest potential because you're trying to justify unjustified moralities and just it's just an absolute negative thing for your life. People try to spin it and find the good in it, and God bless you on that. But if you want to live with your blinders on and believe that the good part of this is good, and I just don't pay attention to the bad part, my friends, you know, this is not the life, and this is not the time where you should be worried about. You know what I'm saying? You should be serving him now. So when it's the real time, you're okay. So pay attention.
All right, so let's finish that video up there, kid.
Celebrate diversity, and that our Muslim neighbors, our friends, our colleagues are fully included and able to celebrate without consequence the most holy day for them. I'm here with somebody who is leading that effort here in San Francisco and is my supervisor and is also the first Muslim American supervisor in San Francisco.
I don't, you know, like this is a really, really bad start. And again, there's something called the jizya, right? And that's where, sure, you can live amongst us as Muslims. Sure, you can live amongst us, not a problem. But you're gonna have to pay us a jizya tax, which is money because you're a non-believer. What?
I said I'll go ahead and get the cup.
Yeah. But yeah, you need them to you need to pay them. So there's in the Quran, there's the verse where no, you can believe in your own scripture and believe what you want to believe, but you're just gonna have to pay us. And there's a jizya tax. You can believe what you want, but then you just pay us. If not, then we had to kill you. So you can submit to Islam or pay the jizya. Okay? Because they think that you're their demi. You're their fucking demi, and then you have to bow down to them. Fuck that. Fuck that. You fake God, Allah. and your pedophile prophet.
So farther down the road into this in an experiment in futility, there's a couple of clips from the UK regarding some of the reaction from these self-righteous Muslims that are living amongst the Christians during Ramadan, and this is what they had to say.
Yeah, I can smell that. Do you mind eating that somewhere else? I'm fasting. I'm fasting.
That's not my concern.
Yeah, but I'm fasting though.
So why are you out?
What do you mean why am I out?
If you're fasting, you should be indoors.
Yeah, but
I'm eating my lunch and you come and disturb me.
Yeah,
What for?
yeah, but I can smell it.
So what? It's food. Of course you're gonna smell it.
Yeah, but can you not just wait until you get off the
Please,
bus?
don't tell me what to do. You're fasting, stay indoors and don't come and bother nobody on the bus.
No, but I'm just saying.
I'm eating my lunch.
Yeah, but
what's your problem?
Because you're
Sheldon, go home and bathe.
Well, go downstairs.
Yep. Do you think you should have manners and not eat inside the
Go
bus? Then?
downstairs and leave me alone. It's my lunch.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm fasting and I can smell it.
That's your business. Stay indoors.
What do you mean stay indoors? I need to
When
go out
I
and still do
fast,
stuff.
I don't go out. Stay
Okay.
indoors, read your Bible,
Okay.
and keep quiet.
Well, first of all, I don't read the Bible. Second of all, yeah, I can.
Rex, can you imagine? Can you imagine the nerve thinking you're his again? This ideology that you're righteous because you follow Islam and everybody else is your demi. That we should be submitting as well. Well, let me tell you, my friend. That's how I really did have that type of attitude. Fucking oldie man foots. Jesus, get off my lawn. Spraying at my host. Damn Muslims, bad Muslims. But like, I mean, can you fucking imagine, bro? Can you imagine?
Well, it's that line from 8 millimeter. If you dance with the devil doesn't change. The devil changes you, and it is the case. Like you're not going. And I'm not saying that Muslims are devil. I'm just using it as an example. But if you stray too far away from your core beliefs as a country, and you start entertaining this kind of stuff, you're not going to change their opinion. They're going to make you change your opinion. And that's same thing with transgenders, illegal immigration, abortion, all that kind of stuff. The more and more rope you lead out, the more and more you're going to hang yourself. And I'm done with the freaking similes. So anyway, I said I'm done with the similes. I don't mean to keep on going. Well, if you do this, you're going to do this. So
yeah.
All right. So here's another one. I don't remember exactly what was this one again. The other short you sent.
This was this couple's eating in a fucking restaurant, bro. They're in a restaurant eating their lunch or whatever. And take a look at this fella. Actually, I think the guy in the bottom box there will we'll talk about it.
All right.
When God wants to make a man.
Not her. Not that.
In England, Muslims are now going from restaurant to restaurant during the day, asking people why they're eating and demanding them to stop because of Ramadan.
How come you're eating, boss? It's Ramadan, boss. Huh?
Yeah, sorry, brother.
It's Ramadan. This is no good. Ramadan. Muslim.
I know, brother. I'm sorry.
You're Muslim, yeah?
No.
You sure? I think so. You are. It's Ramadan now. No way, Ramun.
Romania is not
Muslim.
no Muslim.
You sure? Brother, please, yeah, because it's very big trouble, huh? Okay? Please don't be eating in Ramadan.
He just set off the bomb.
Please, because, really bad.
That is an insane video. Can you imagine somebody doing that to someone in America? That would be crazy. That would be a fucking death sentence in America. Like, bitch, what did you say to me? What'd you say to me? Get your Ramaduki out of here, bitch.
Yeah.
Here's Paul Joseph Watson.
Remember the guy who went.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, ridiculous. Can you imagine? And remember, if I was just saying this shit and showing you just random little things, right? You can definitely apply. Well, look, Footer, you're just picking out the bad apples. Stop. I've already prefaced everything by saying this, but I'm going to say it again. That's not what is happening. I read you from your own Quran what they say and what I'm trying to respectfully give you the chance and the out to go, this man right here isn't talking to me because he dislikes Muslims and he just wants to put us down and point out all the negatives. No. I want to show you that this is the type of behavior that you see. Now, let me flip it, okay? On a Christian lens. Let's say the crazy Christian, right? That blows away the doctor that's walking out of the abortion clinic, okay? I want to make it very clear, right? That man isn't a Christian. A Christian doesn't commit murder in for any reason. God didn't tell him to do that. That was a crazy person that did that. If you would like to then tell me, well, the two guys in the video that I saw are crazy people, and that's not the norm, then okay. But we both know that's not the case.
Well, and even in that short clip there, and I assume that was in the UK somewhere.
Yeah.
The guy still said, well, I'm sorry. Like, that would not be my immediate reaction. I would be like, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? So there's already kind of a backing off and a polite kind of a thing that I just would not inherently go to immediately. And, they said, well, could you imagine this happening in our country? I could guarantee it's obviously not a majority, but I guarantee it's a plurality, especially on the left. If that were to happen in an In-N-Out in California, not only would they apologize, they would probably stop eating.
You know what? I'll give you one better. And you know what? It's great you said it, because this is going to be my point when you said this, how he reacted. He reacted because it's becoming the social norm in those areas that was him being radical. You know what I mean? was the polite, because again, it's such a societal norm in that area, and these things have been spiraling. And you know what? Go to Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yeah,
I bet you would have a certain community that you would be dealing with things like that, and you would feel very uncomfortable or in danger in any way to say something in like man, fuck you. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, it is. It's a power play. It's the same. Is this guy really offended? The guy taping, is this guy really offended? That he's obviously going out for content, and it's a power move. It's the same reason that trans people come in. You have to use my pronouns, or I'm going to go into this bathroom even though it makes you uncomfortable because it's my truth. No, it's a power thing. The longer and longer it's allowed to manifest, the more and more it's going to be difficult to, number one, defend, and number two, remember your core characteristics of being an American. And that being said, talking about leftists sort of bending the knee to Muslims, Caitlin, what was her name? Caitlin Bennett. Caitlin Bennett went out and did a man on the street interview, asking people, if you had this option between MAGA supporters or Muslim extremists, which side would you go? And this is what they said. Watch.
With a Trump supporter or a radical Islamist?
Radical Islamist.
You saw someone wearing one of those red hats chanting "Make America Great Again," or you saw someone shouting "Allahu Akbar" running down the breezeway here. Who would you feel more safe with?
The one shouting Allahu Akbar. Yeah.
You would support the radical Islamists.
Yeah.
What is it about Trump supporters that you don't think you'd get along with them so well?
I'm gay.
But you would get along with a radical Islamist?
Yes.
And you're gay?
Yes.
In solidarity with radical Islamists, would you look at the camera and say in solidarity, Allahu?
I mean, this is really, really insane to me. Like, and yeah, I guess the gays for Palestine were just as crazy, but at least if I had to, let me have to, and they don't do this because they're not even smart enough. But if I had to make an argument for them, if I was, I'd have to go, it's just for Palestine in general. You know what I'm saying? For the people in general, not like a Muslim thing or whatever.
Sure.
I'm sure a lot of them wouldn't like what I do, but clip this. This is a clear, this is like, no. A radical. First of all, she shouldn't have just said yelling Allah Akbar, because that's just, again, it's scary as fuck, because usually follows by absolute fucking horrendous events. But just yelling it, but there maybe have to be a little bit more. But I'm sure it wouldn't change the response of any of these fucking morons,
Right.
But
yeah,
but God.
I was gonna say, in your original thing, the overall just being like, I don't want innocent people to get killed with the gays for Palestine, which I think is sort of their core message. That's one thing, but this is definitely a choosing a religion that would fucking throw you off a roof if you were gay, as opposed to a bunch of Republicans that might make fun of how you walk. At most, you know what I mean? Like that's
or your pink, or they don't like your pink hair,
right?
But so it's and if you, and I won't do it now, but if there's anybody in chat or anybody would like me to pull up a Quran verse of just this on how they would play out. With that being said, hey Rex, can you look up something right now? Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun in the middle of this real quick. Can you look up something called Alzut? Alzutt, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And can you read that definition from your phone?
I don't think it's about exactly what you're asking me.
It's about the beautiful Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah, it's not coming up as that.
No problem. Okay, hold on. I'll get you. Tell me the story of Alzut and Muhammad. Okay. Let me help you out here. The story usually begins in a neutral setting. Hold on. Nope, sorry. You're right. This isn't it. Let me see here. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm not getting what it keeps bringing up something about Pakistan.
Let's see.
The Night of El Zut, is that what it is?
Yeah, yep, that's it. The Night of El Zut. And I want to, and again, I could just tell you the premise, but I'd rather, I would rather kind of give the night journey. Yes. The journey of Al-Bakra. Yes. All right, let's see here. Let's take a little peek. This is great. This is just wonderful. It was described as a long let me see. All right. Well, I can't. Damn it. Anyway, I'd have to look up the actual verse. So I apologize. The story goes somewhat of Muhammad went into the middle of the desert one night. Okay. And there's a little more to the background of it, but in context, these are the cliff notes, the hot cliff notes. So him and his boy, his bestie, went into the desert, and there was a group of people, I forget their names, that were from that area that were known for their what do they call it? Veracity, like their being able to look at a long lasting manhood and just being, you know what I'm saying, very feral men. Is that the right words I'm using?
Yeah.
You know, so him and his buddy were in the desert, and he drew a line around like their little camp area, and he told his buddy to stay outside this line, okay, until I come get you. And the story goes that it's quoting that he was telling that in and out all throughout the night, 30, 40 men were coming in, and Muhammad was telling how they mounted him. They mounted your prophet Muhammad. And I believe the term road was used. RODE was used in the story. And if you think I'm kidding, please go look up Al Zut. I can't seem to find it right now, and I do have it in my notes otherwise, but they're not here. They're inside. But look up Al Zut, or even David Wood does a great video on Al Zut. So please look at what your prophet Muhammad. So maybe he would be okay with gays for Palestine. Maybe he would be okay. Maybe these guys are safe, because Muhammad definitely has. He really is just like a gay retard. Couldn't read, couldn't write.
Yeah. All right. Hit play.
That was
Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And would you say make America great again in solidarity with the Trump supporters?
No.
What is a bigger threat to America today? Radical Islam or Trump supporters?
Trump supporters. I'll say Trump.
Trump supporters in MAGA.
Yeah.
I would say Trump supporters in MAGA.
I would have to go with the Trump supporters.
Trump supporters in MAGA.
Trump supporters in MAGA.
I'd say MAGA. But we should be able to allow people to be who they are.
Yeah. Even if they're a radical Islamist.
Yes. Yeah. There's no right to judge them.
So if someone came running down the street, Allahu Akbar, or if there was someone on the opposite side saying, make America great again, got my red hat on, which side would you run to?
I don't know.
As Christians, and we're following Christ, do you think it's important to call out radical Islam?
No, because it's a freedom of religion.
Yeah, it's a freedom of religion.
How many terrorist attacks did Trump supporters engage in last week?
So many.
Just guess.
Thousands.
If you're a radical Islamist watching this right now, we pray for your conversion.
It's whatever they want to do, then do it.
Oh my God, you're a heretic, young lady. You're a heretic.
It ain't good. It ain't good. And like I said, all of these people would be, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to eat in front of you. I'll, go take 1,000 lashings for my sins.
Rex,
Without a doubt.
that was a great little how you brought it all together, because let me tell you something, that there you go. That was you just showed the people that that in America would exactly react different than what you saw that one guy react in the restaurant.
For sure.
And the Jamaican lady that was standing up to the dude about the food in the bus, there would be people in that bus that would have closed up their food.
Yep. And probably, disparaged her for acting that way as well.
Agreed. So. Listen, that is something in this freaking society that we need to be aware of with Islam. And again, I can't tell you how many times I got to say this, and I'm saying it because I want to say it out of my heart. Like, I have no problem with any Muslims, but I beg of you to come to Jesus Christ and don't tell me you know Jesus. No, we love Jesus. He's our prophet. Is Jesus God? If you say no, okay, then you're not okay. And I challenge you to please open your mind and your heart and ask Jesus Christ to help you get away from the cult of Islam and to open your eyes and see, because you guys know how they like. I can find common ground with Muslims by just saying, guys, you know how amazing Jesus is. They feel that every Muslim feels the same way about Jesus. They love Jesus Christ, right? But they will not accept that he is God. And like they really need to look into that, okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry.
So now moving on to something that aggravates the shit out of me, like this past one aggravated the shit out of Footer, which understandable. There's I didn't watch a lot of it. We watched some of it, but in the series that Candace has brought up regarding Erika, the bride of Charlie, one of the many I'm going to use fantastic and just the unbelievability of it term that she brings up is her quote unquote evidence that Erika Kirk worked for Jeffrey Epstein. And
unbelievable. This is like, okay, you know what? You're right. Now it's time for you to get aggravated, because I'm just going to feed right into you being aggravated. So remember, so the first segment right there, make sure you clip all of that, and then we're going to put the short out. Christian fed up with Islam. Okay, so clip that. Now it's your turn, and I just got to think of the right caption for what's about to happen here. Because throw your logic and reason out the windows, folks.
And one of the things that she actually brings up and plays the audio, and we have the audio of it, and you can tell me what you think, is a wiretapped phone call that happened between 2005 and 2006, which would make Erika like 15, 16 years old, if it's indeed her on the call. The wiretap call, in its entirety, which you can listen to on the Epstein files on the government website, describes a woman, actually two women. One sounds a lot older than the other, and I believe it's the older woman who they say sounds like Erika, discussing getting girls to do massages for Epstein. So let's play that audio now.
Hey, what's up? I talked to Jeffrey, and I'm going to his house tomorrow morning, and I'm taking my friend. He's gonna set something up for
Well, like, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow morning when I go to his house about it.
How much? Like, would I get paid? Last time.
Talk to him. I'll talk to him tomorrow, and then I'll bring you in the next day and talk to him about it.
Now, I know the audio is kind of hard to hear. And a matter of fact, I even ran it through compressors and tried to bring it up. But it is, again, in its entirety, a discussion between two women regarding they're bringing people to do massages for Epstein. Now, in actual documentation, it says it's this woman, what was her name? Robson, I believe her last name is the person talking, and we'll actually look at some evidence later that sort of debunks this. But of course, Candace put this out as I don't know, guys. I'm just, I'm just presenting information that I have, and I'll bring up some more information that you brought up as
guys. I mean, like, guys. I don't know. I like doing with Candace. Come out blackface next time, wig.
Yeah, like you could ever get that silky skin.
It's true.
So
God, she's got nice chocolate. Again, milk chocolate, like the bunny, the smooth end of the bunny. Go ahead.
So here is 3 other things that she had brought up, and then sort of the refutation of them. And in front, I'm going to ask you to read these because I am not going to be able to see them.
All right, let me pull it up here, my friend. And we're off. Okay. Modeling agency connections. The central pillar of Owens' argument rests on Erika Kirk's alleged past in the modeling industry. The claim: Owens alleges that Erika worked for Next Model Management, otherwise known as NMM. The link: Owens points out the co-founder of Next Model Management was known associate of Jeffrey Epstein's. Who is apparently everybody's associate. Rebuttal. A spokesperson for Erika Kirk has stated that she never worked for that agency, and Owens has not produced contracts or official documentation to prove the employment. Interesting.
Yeah. So here's
it's funny. It's funny. Like if I say to you on St. Patrick's Day show, Rex wore a green shirt and green beads and a green hat, and that, let me tell you something. That just shows he must be Irish. And then someone's like, we have no proof of him ever wearing that outfit. We actually, we have a video that we feel is pretty concise, but we don't know, I guess that he's not that he wasn't wearing that. And then guess what happens? He goes, oh, wow, that guy was lying. But nope. Not Candace.
Surprise.
Yeah.
All right, here's the second one.
The Romanian Angels program. That's my nickname in high school. We had a band.
Sure.
Yeah. None of us were Romanian, which was the odd thing. Luck of the Irish, I guess. Yet none of us.
Maybe you like
Irish.
Caesar salad, so.
You know what? That's fair. Owens had scrutinized Erika's former nonprofit work, specifically a program called Romanian Angels under the charity Everyday Heroes Like You. Talking to me. The claim: Owens suggests the program, which organized holiday gifts for children in Romania, was shut down in 2011 due to trafficking concerns. That's a fucking bold ass claim.
Yeah.
Here's the link, though, people. She attempts to draw a parallel between the location, Romania, and the nature of charity to the broader cabal. Is it maybe cabal? Theories. Okay, cabal theories, often associated with Epstein's network. Here's the rebuttal. There's no official records existing showing Erika Kirk was banned from Romania or that the charity was investigated for trafficking. I mean, wow, that seems like a really complex rebuttal. It's almost like the Trinity. It's real hard to follow. But we know it's true. No.
Well,
there's zero proof in any way right now. Now, maybe it's out in the fucking floating around the ether, fucking in the universe somewhere. But as of right now,
right?
They didn't even use they didn't even go. There's no evidence that something like this has surfaced. They said the words did not exist, does not exist.
Right. And
the game, Erika Kirk was nude riding a unicorn. Well, I can say one thing. There aren't unicorns. I don't know what she was riding, but it wasn't a unicorn.
And the fact is like a lot of people, their rebuttal to why these things are true will be, well, if they aren't true, why isn't Erika suing for defamation? And you could say it for Candace, you could say it for Ian Carroll. There was somebody who blatantly put out on X that Like no caveats, no allegedly. This wrote Erika Kirk is a child molester, something along those lines, like just blatant, obvious, slander. And the argument is, well, if it's not true, why aren't they suing? Well, the fact is that lawsuits cost a lot, and not even in money. You're also bringing attention to it, and you could say, oh, well, bring the lawsuit. Maybe they'll stop. They might, but there also is a higher threshold for somebody who's in the public eye in order for you to even meet the needs of, number one, you have to prove that what they're saying is not true. Then you have to prove malice. Then you also have to prove there's a third one I'm blanking on, but there's and most likely they're not going to have the money, even if you do receive some kind of a restitution for what happened. So it's an exercise in futility in order to even do that. So
and then times that by at least 1,000. Because again,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that's the other part, is that you have to be able to prove that, and like you said, there's thousands of them. You have to be able to prove that whatever damages you are claiming were the result of this individual in this individual case, and not the thousands of other people that are doing it. So it's not something that's even feasible, and ultimately it's probably just going to be detrimental. So here is the third piece of information that she brings up, apart from the call.
All right. The ties via Donald Trump. Owens has leaned into the 6 degrees of separation logic regarding the Mar-a-Lago circle. The claim. She suggests that because Erika met Charlie through Donald Trump's circles, and because Trump and Epstein were once in the same social orbit, Erika was positioned to be vetted or placed by Epstein adjacent figures. Whoa, I said figures. Status. The remains are purely speculative theory with no specific meetings or dates cited. And again, like all these connections. Erika met Charlie through Donald, and because Donald knew Epstein at the same time, there was a social orbit that they were all in, and Erika was positioned to be vetted, and but they could have just kept going. And to be vetted, they also ordered to dress up like a clown during a children's party. They actually only wanted her to wear purple. They actually, you're just randomly saying shit, with zero proof.
And the fact is that she met Charlie, in her late 20s at the very earliest. So, that sort of a connection between, her being a functional part of it would be when she was younger. This meeting would have happened 10 to 15 years after, if it ever did happen, which it probably didn't. And it wasn't Epstein's MO to put either well-rounded or people of notoriety or people with connections in that side of the business. You specifically pick, girls or whatever who, don't have families, don't have ties, can't have money to defend themselves. That's not who Erika Kirk ever was. So even that claim doesn't make a whole lot of sense. She's not the kind of person that a predator like Epstein would have gone after. Just is.
Yep. Yeah. No. It was 100%. Damn it! I had a thought that I want to caveat.
What did it sound like?
I don't know. I can't remember. That's why I paused and I stopped. And here we are. But yeah. I do remember. Yay. All right. Listen. Let's just say, for example, later on, we find out this in some way is true.
Yeah.
I would be extremely surprised. I'd be fucking shocked.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. With that being said, my whole point to all this, and Rex's whole point to all this, is that Candace is a fucking Fruit Loop. She's a kooky Fruit Loop. And
Sounds delicious.
This is what I'm trying to get across. Like, this is not even like it's impossible for this even to be true. No. As it stands today, there is zero evidence to support any of the claims that Candace has made, even as of recent, and then even all the way back to the beginning. Is to the older stuff, are there some circumstantial evidence that might be floating around? Is there some validity to some of the things that she has said? Sure. But it is a grain of salt, because she has, again, I say it, muddied the waters so much. She has made anything of validity a needle in a haystack, because she will not stop muddying the waters and flooding this narrative with just absolute horseshit. If she would have focused from the beginning on what was real and done more of maybe eliminating what was not real and being on the right side of history when it comes to even if the right side of history was unraveling something that was being done behind the scenes, right? Let's say there was a conspiracy. I mean, there was something that happened that isn't the narrative. Be a part of the history that unraveled that for the real good intentions, and not being the one that has gone so far and so in depth on shit that isn't valid because you wanted clout and you wanted to continue to strive. And my personal belief, and I look right in the camera when I say it, I've said this for a long time, from the beginning when we first started following this Candace shit. Candace was upset from day one when Charlie passed and she wasn't given the attention that she felt she deserved from TPUSA. They didn't make a big thing of, oh, get Candace in here. Look, Candace should be taking over. Oh, no. She felt slighted.
Yep.
She was sad. Her friend died. Don't misunderstand me. But something happened where it became, she wasn't part of the vacuum that came in. She wasn't considered. And then her ego took over. So
there was a lot of different podcasters, commenters, influencers, whatever that mentioned this. Again, Ian Carroll is probably one of the most prominent people, and we're going to mention him in this video. But you know, the caveat, well, I don't know, it sounds, again, I don't mean everybody sounds like Candace, but it is the same kind of, well, it certainly does sound like her. It kind of could be. And I particularly picked this one just because the presenter, you know, looks like he's, I don't know, a junior or whatever in high school, and it's all right. He's cute. Go ahead.
Putting all of these pieces of evidence together to allege that Erika Kirk was very clearly involved in Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking operation, including potentially Ian Carroll, which is one of Candace Owens' employees. He said, holy shit, this sure sounds like Erika scheduling girls for Epstein, and it's an FBI wiretap, so that should mean they knew. It's so on the nose, it's hard to believe. Gonna be wild to watch this play out. Now he's actually rolling it back. Look at this. Woke up to the world ending over this tweet. So here's some clarification. Read it. Did not say it was Erika or confirmed or anything. I actually explicitly said that would be hard to believe. This is hilarious. He's saying this because Candace Owens is actually not even backing the notion that this was Erika Kirk. And that's because a lot of people are debunking the notion that this was Erika Kirk, including this guy, David Kite, which is a pretty big Zionist Republican. Here's his video saying
Oh,
this
that'd
was
be tight.
definitely not Erika Kirk.
As of this morning, there's a new narrative regarding Erika Kirk at 16 years old recruiting her classmates to do massages for Jeffrey Epstein. And I wouldn't be addressing this idiotic rumor and narrative if it wasn't for 10 million views on this post and people that I know actually buying into this. I'm going to quickly debunk this entire narrative in less than a minute. So this tweet by Project Constitution, which was retweeted by Ian Carroll, which is why it has 10 million views, said that there's a smoking gun. Leaked DOJ wiretap audio captures Erika Kirk scheduling underage girls for Epstein. And Ian watched this video and said, holy crap, this sounds just like Erika Kirk, so it must be Erika. This is the funniest part. If you're going to say that this is a leaked audio file, you probably shouldn't attach the official DOJ, official government website to that audio file. All it takes is just 1 minute to find out who's actually speaking on that audio file.
So I'm assuming this is listed by the DOJ?
That name is Haley Robson. Haley was 16 years old, living in Florida at the time that Epstein contacted her and forced her to start to recruit her classmates in order to come over and do,
I don't know. Okay, listen, I'm not saying he's wrong yet, but that person on the phone sounded older than 16.
What Haley has spoken about,
which completely refutes this kid's claim. If the person sounds older, we know that Erika Kirk was 15 or 16. So you can't say the person sounds older and then also say that, well, maybe it's, it probably is Erika Kirk. And
what part of Florida was Erika Kirk from?
What's that?
What part of Florida was Erika Kirk from?
I don't know. I don't think she was.
Oh.
And the other funny thing is like, do you realize like how incredibly small the odds are that Candace Owens was able to tie or that the actual event happened, that Jeffrey Epstein, the topic du jour, and Erika Kirk happen to be part of the same thing going on? Like, do you realize how like Lifetime movie that is?
Again, throw your logic and reason out the window and leave your comment below, because that's what you're going to do. You know what I mean? That's what they're going to do, man. It's going to be a barrage of Candace lovers that we don't know what we're talking about. That we podcast sucks. All of them, granted. But
from your mom, even.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks. But to actually believe for a second that all of the things that she says are true, is absolute insanity. So, what?
I was just telling production they can.
And then your response would be, I didn't say everything that she said was true. Okay, so can we at least start eliminating the things that, if we had to, gun through our head, what we think is true? And then if we can do that honestly, right? And I'll even grant you a few that you could just throw in there for shits and giggles. I promise you, when you look at it, you'd go, not only in a court of law would this not hold up. In my own logic and reason, this is probably not the case. Could it be? Of course it could be. Anything could be. Who knows? But you have to really start to think about what really makes sense. Do I have to marry to that? No. I encourage you not to marry yourself to anything, because it's unraveling. Maybe we'll never know. But stop fooling yourselves and being such sheep and such lemmings and following a woman that is doing nothing but making more and more and more money off of your ignorance. Rage bait, all of it. She's capitalizing on it. Did she love Charlie? Yep. I believe she really did. Was she his good friend? Yeah. I believe it. Not very loving right now. She's is exactly loving. She's rescuing Charlie. She's fighting for his truth. No, she's not. She's not. She has made this entire situation into an absolute shit show. She made it harder to get to the truth. Whatever she believes behind the scenes, she should be funneling that and facilitating that stuff to people that can actually do something. But instead, she fires up the microphone and she spews it to millions and millions and millions and millions of people with zero accountability.
You know, and the thing is like, this isn't the only time she's done this. Now, again, no matter what you believe about the Brigitte Macron thing, that is her story, and her evidence is an extreme, fantastic story that, like, most people would like. That just seems like completely out of the realm of possibility. So with that being said, and that being said, so we, you know, there's a pattern of this kind of behavior from Candace. So I did something, and I just out of a curiosity wanted to see what AI would say about this particular question, and I wrote this, and we're going to show you exactly what it came up, and I just want you to tell me if it sounds like anybody that we know. Okay, so I wrote, in the DSM-5, is there a known disorder where someone puts forth theories that are beyond incredible and uses the rarity of the claim to bolster its believability? Because that's really what she does. Like,
what's DSM-5? Sorry, I don't know what it is. I just assumed that everybody else didn't either.
Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders.
Okay. See, I didn't even know that it was that I had no idea the context.
Right.
You didn't have to tell me what the acronym was. You just had to tell me like it was like a medical book. I didn't
right.
know.
Well,
sorry. Okay.
Again, it's a term that I've heard thrown around, but I don't think I ever actually knew what the actual term of what it is. But anyway, so it's basically the nut job book is what it is. Okay. So it pulled up, I believe was a 4 or 5. It pulled up 5 different plausible answers to my question. Now, again, I'm going to ask Footer to read these, and then just tell me if it sounds like somebody that may be Candace Owens. Number 1.
The too big to be a lie fallacy. In rhetoric, this is often a variation of the big lie technique. The logic follows that a claim is so outlandish, specific, or dangerous to say out loud that nobody would dare make it up. The speaker uses the social cost of making the claim, the rarity, of someone being brave enough to say it, as a proxy for evidence. Wow.
That sound like anybody?
I mean, it's maybe a little bit, right? But a little bit.
Well, here's another piece of
information. A lot of people.
Hmm.
Okay. Number 2, let's say overvalued ideas. In psychiatry, the overvalued ideas are believed to be are beliefs that occupy a middle ground between a normal, strong conviction and a delusion. The mechanism: the person is so invested in a specific theory that they develop a monomania, a fixation. The rarity aspect: they often believe that they are one of the few enlightened individuals who can. Wow, that's crazy, bro. I'm sorry, I had to stop in the middle because I mean we've been saying I've been screaming she's a okay. The rarity aspect: they often believe that they are one of the few enlightened individuals who can see a hidden truth. The fact that most people find the theory incredible or impossible is used as proof that the masses are blind or brainwashed, which reinforces the believer's sense of being a lone truth teller.
I think you might have mentioned that a couple of times, right?
Madonna mia, bro. I mean, and you know me. I listen, I'm a dummy, but I tell you one thing that I do fairly well is I'm very good at reading people. And you know me, I love body language. I love looking for vocal tells, like everything.
Yeah.
And this is from, like I said, like a dummy like me. And now to have it validated on a clinical level is let me, man. You niggas are stupid, bro.
Let's see if
You
let's
niggas
see if
be
any of these.
stupid and shit.
Man, you dumb.
You
Let's see
dumb
if
as
any of these
fuck.
other ones.
Yo, you dumb as fuck, nigga. Sound like fucking 6'9".
Let's see if any of these other ones kind of ring a bell.
All right. Grandiose delusion disorder, subtype. If the theories become fixed and the person loses the ability to distinguish their imagination from reality, it may fall under delusional disorder, grandiose type. The trait. The individual believes that they have discovered something of immense importance that everyone else has missed. Wow. The logic. If this weren't true, why would it be so hidden? The fact is that sounds crazy is just proof of how deep the cover-up goes. Man, for real, bro. Like I'm at the. If you notice, I turned to like stoner foots. Like I'm at like I'm just like I'm at the mind blown. Like I can't even articulate anything more than, damn. Like wow. Like it's blowing my mind, bro.
All right. Well, let's see if number 4 does anything for you.
Reverse probable. All right. Reverse probabilistic reasonings. This is a logical glitch where someone argues that because an event is extremely rare, a black swan, its occurrence is actually more likely to be a part of a hidden pattern rather than a random fluke. Here's the fallacy. They confuse low probability with high significance. Here's an example. The odds of these 3 people being in the same room are 1 in a billion. Therefore, it must be a conspiracy. In the reality, 1 in a billion events happen every single day. They just aren't usually documented. Fascinating. Fascinating. I love that.
Yeah. So here's the last one.
Schizotype. What is it? No.
Schizopathy. I think it's schizotypy.
Doesn't sound right, but
yeah, whatever.
Schizotypy. Schizotypy. All right. On a personal spectrum, schizotopsy involves a magical thinking and usually perceptual experiences. People in high schizotopy often find deep hidden meanings in coincidences. They may use the unbelievable nature of their theories to distinguish themselves as normies, viewing the rarity. What?
From normies.
Oh, okay. Let me read that again. They may use the unbelievable nature of their theories to distinguish themselves from normies, viewing the rarity of their insight as a sign of intellectual or spiritual superiority. Number 5 was tough for me.
Yeah.
I'm a good reader, but
is a tough one.
Yeah, but, it was the word that just was. It kind of threw my whole tongue out of fucking whack.
Sure, but I mean, like, it's just a simple. Again, I didn't cage the question weird. I didn't say Candace Owens in general. Because I just kind of tried to describe what I was seeing happen, and see if there was any sort of a correlation. And like the 5 points that we brought up speak to Candace more than anybody that I know. I mean, you could also say it about, again, Ian Carroll and what's that one guy that you hate? Well, Kurt Metzger, and Sam Tripoli. That's it. Conspiracy theorists. Now, like the fact that if you consider yourself a conspiracy theorist and you believe all of the conspiracy theories out there, all you're doing is hurting your credibility because they can't all be right, even though you display them all as being factual. So if you believe on one here and there, and JFK was shot, whatever, but when you believe them all, you just look like a fool.
Yeah, and that's why I keep pushing. And we have been saying, and keep pushing that. You really do need to try to understand what's happening. And if any of those 5 things, let me ask you this.
All right, hang on a second. I was telling production to hang on. No, I was going to say, do the other thing.
Let me ask you this. Out of those 5 things, is it fair to say that some of them are applicable to what's going on here. And maybe, and now look, I'm not saying that everybody that believes in this type of things has some sort of a disorder, right? I by no means am I saying it.
Right.
But I think that it's fair to say that there is a pattern of behavior that, yes, can be applicable to many other people for many other reasons, for many other things. But to focus in on what's happening with the whole Charlie Kirk, the Erika Kirk, all of the things in that bucket, is it fair to say that Candace is displaying maybe a few, if not a majority, of these 5 things? I mean, is that a fair thing to say?
You know, and these are naturally occurring things in the psyche. Now add on top of it the motivation of money, clout, following, prestige, power. Those now are motivating in this psychopathy to manifest. So not only do you have this as a natural occurring thing, you're also having fuel to the fire of the benefits of using this to your advantage. So, I mean, again, whether it's true or not, we can't say, but like, isn't it at least possible? Can we at least say that maybe this is what's going on?
Without a doubt. And listen, as a sister in Christ, I mean, I pray to God if for some reason she's dealing with these mental issues, you know what I mean, and these motivations, if any of the motivations that are negative, you know what I mean, look, they're coming from a very demonic place. And yeah, I said it. Yep. Oh, cha-ching, here comes my check. Yeah. Yep. Hold on, I'm gonna slip. You know what? I'm gonna make us a few bucks, Rex. Hold on to you. You know what? Go buy yourself a new shirt. Get ready. Hey, you know, it's a very evil and
demonic.
You know, a demonic and devil-like thing to do. So you know, I think that her almost having this evil thing around her. I pray to God that we can, you know, remove them from her, because there's definitely some sort of an evil thing that's going on around her, in my opinion.
So it would
ghost
seem.
bed. Sorry, that was just an extra one added on.
So it would seem, Flutter.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to try to slip in another show, I think, this week. Anybody that's out there that wants to continue to comment, jump on, leave us comments, we'll acknowledge them. If you have critique, we'll make it to a future critics corner, I'm sure. You know what? Make a note, Rex. Next show, I'd like to address, not even if we have to address the comments. I'm going to go back and how I was. Some of the comments are, to break it down, they're just, I don't understand the motivation.
That's reasonable.
You know, you know what? Maybe we do a life in the mind of a troll one show. You know?
Yeah, we don't need to know what, but we need to know why.
Boom.
What makes
That's
you
what I'm
tick?
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, well, thanks everybody for the non-trolls and for the supporters. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the trolls too, because like I said, you give me content. Thank you everybody. God bless. Love yous all.
You're listening on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch. Come on over to Rumble. As a matter of fact, we just started some social medias. Why don't you go on the X, the TikTok, the other things? Follow us. Why am I getting a weird look from production? One has to ask the questions. But other than that, come on over to Rumble, like, subscribe.
She's like, no, because she's like, what? Hold on, what show are you on? Promotions? we don't promote anything. You threw her for a loop.
Come on over to Rumble, like, subscribe. go ahead and get the premium so you can watch all this stuff without ads. And good night, everybody.
Hey, Rex, can I mention I hate vertical, by the way?
You mean just in general?
No, no, I hate the friggin' vertical thing that like YouTube puts up sometimes and releases it as a show like in vertical. So half the show it's like it's got like a half a face me.
Oh, I get it. Yeah,
I have to like pay like the whole show. I had to pay attention to the show. Like,
well, you know, StreamYard is a funky thing, isn't it? Using AI, even a lot of our work. I don't know. Maybe they'll fix it. Maybe they won't.
why have a beautiful set that we have around us and you know, chop it down just to our beautiful faces?
Flip it over landscape style. Whole thing.